Namaste. Welcome to ASANA. Join me to start at the top of the mat in a comfortable seat. Take a few rounds of breath to settle yourself into your practice. Releasing the shoulders down the back, allowing the sitting bones, those bottom hip points, to ground into the floor. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Take a deep inhale, filling up as much as you can, expanding the belly and the lungs. Letting the exhale out through open mouth. We'll take one more of those big cleansing breaths to begin. Big inhale, fill all the way up. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. On an inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Relax the shoulders down the back. Slight tuck of the tailbone to lengthen through the spine. Slight tuck of the chin. Again, relax the shoulders. Bring the palms together at the top and exhale, palms down through heart center. And then we'll take Garuda mudra. So taking the thumbs and crossing them, fingertips spread wide. So your right hand is closest to your chest. Left hand on top, cross the thumbs, hooking them around. Spread the fingertips wide, and then lower the hands over the chest. Tuck the chin, lengthen through the spine. One more inhale. Exhale, close the eyes, gazing downward. And we'll spend 5 rounds of breath in Garuda mudra, eagle seal. After the 5th exhale, gently lift your gaze, lift the chin, release the mudra, bringing your hands to your knees. And then extend the right arm long and follow it with the left, reaching out through the fingertips. Inhale, pull the heart forward as you draw the backs of the hands together behind you. And then exhale, curl forward, begin to give yourself a hug, wrapping the fingertips around the shoulder blades. Inhale to open. Exhale, switch the crossing of your arms as they come back forward, wrapping them around. Really dynamic inhales, reaching open, expansive. Exhaling, curling, and giving yourself a hug. 3 more rounds of that, switching the crossing of the arms each time. Inhaling, opening wide. Exhaling, curling in, tightening through, curling into yourself. Last one. Inhale, expand the arms, reach them back. And then inhale them up. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, twist towards your right, drawing the left hand to your right knee. Right fingertips prop you up behind. Inhale, lengthen to the spine, finding space between each vertebrae. Exhale, turn your gaze to look over your back right shoulder. Deep inhale, slow exhale. Inhale back to center. Exhale, hands to your knees. Take a few rounds of seated cat and cow. So on an exhale, pressing out through the back of the heart space, curling in, tucking the chin. Press out all the air. Your inhale pulls the belly and the chest forward, lifting through the chin, arching the back, dropping the head back as far as you need, not too far. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, lift and open. Exhale, curl it in. 3 more times with your own breath rhythm. Beginning to bring some movement to the body. Drawing that connection between breath and physical movement. And inhale back to center, shrug the shoulders. Up and then down. And then gently switch the crossing of the legs. So take the leg that was in front, put it in back. Settle back in. When you're ready, inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, long through the side body, pressing the sitting bones down. Exhale, twist towards your left, bringing your right hand to the knee. Left fingertips prop you up behind, lengthen through the spine on the inhale. Exhale to look over the back left shoulder. Big breath in, big breath out. Your inhale brings you back to center. Exhale, hands to your knees. Another couple rounds of seated cat and cow. Exhale, holding on those knees, curling the spine in. Inhaling, lifting up, dropping the shoulders down, arching the spine. And continuing with your own movement. After your last exhale, erecting the spine back straight. Extend the legs out in front of you, not quite together, just maybe a few feet apart. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead, and hinging at the hips, reach forward, forward fold, keeping the back straight. Lower the hands wherever they land, roll the shoulders down the back, drawing the fingertips in, lift the heart on the inhale, and then exhale, try to pull your heart as forward as you can. When you can't forward fold anymore, that's your spot. Get to know it, get to appreciate it. Inhale, big. Exhale, slow through the nose. You can keep a slight bend in the knees here. Inhale, lift the gaze. Exhale, curl the spine and roll up to sit, drawing the feet closer to your hips. Prop yourself up with your hands behind. Windshield wipers left and right. Drop the knees to one side and then the other. Begin to link that movement with your breath. Slowing it down. Inhaling up. Exhaling, lowering. Inhaling the knees up. Exhaling, lowering to the other side. On your next inhale, with the knees up, taking figure four pose. So walk the feet away from you and lift that right foot off the mat. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. You can lean back to do that if you need. Now, wiggle that left foot back however much you need to begin to feel it in that left hip. And then we're just going to gently rock right and left with the knee. In this posture or any posture, if you have any sharp pain or if you're not able to breathe easily, that is a sign that this is not the pose for you in this moment, in this day. So listen to that sensation and slowly back out of it. No need to be judgmental or ashamed. Our bodies change day by day, hour by hour. Maybe next time you'll get it. And slowly come back to center. Extend that right leg long, plant the right foot. And switch sides. Left leg lengthens, cross that left ankle over your right knee, bending into those elbows if you need to give yourself some space. And then either walking your hands in towards your hips or walking that right heel in towards your hips. Drop the leg left and right, taking a gentle windshield wiper-like shake with the other leg. Taking notice if one side is a little tighter or looser than the other. And just taking note on that, no judgment. We're just going to use that information throughout our practice, being more mindful of how we move, leading with the breath, not the ego. And just a few more rocks left and right. And coming back to center, unhook the ankle off the knee. Begin to sit up, wrap your forearms around your shins, and tuck into a little ball. So curl the spine, tuck the chin, wrapping in, tucking the forehead against the knees. Breathe in, feel the back body expand. Exhale, squeeze yourself in a little bit tighter. One more time, big inhale, feel the back of the heart, the low back even expand. Exhaling, curling it in. And then slowly release. We're going to meet standing at the top of the mat, so take your time to get there. Really slow, mindful movements, as if you had to consciously ask each individual part of your body to move to get you to that standing posture. So finding mountain pose or Tadasana at the top of the mat. Begin to bend one knee, lengthening out the opposite leg. As if you're kind of marching in place, but keep the toe mound on the mat. Slight tuck of the tailbone. Then quiet the feet. Make sure you feel grounded and stable in your stance. You might need to widen your feet a little bit more, bring them closer together. Generally, right under your hips is going to be the most stable. Spin the inner thighs forward, palms come forward. Inhale the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale down the back. Standing tall. Deep breath in. Slow exhale through the nose. On the inhale, reach the arms up overhead. This is Urdhva Hastasana. Reach the fingertips up, but drop the shoulders into their sockets. Keep spinning the inner thighs forward. You'll feel the legs activate. Lengthen through the side body. Slight tuck of the tailbone. Inhale, look up. Exhale, forward fold. First, bend the knees slightly. Exhale the hands down as you hinge forward at the hips, diving the heart forward over the knees. Lower the hands towards the floor, towards the feet. They don't have to touch. Your fingertips may never touch. That's okay. That's not the goal. Inhale to halfway lift. Hands to your shins. Lengthen through the tailbone. Finding a straight back here. You might even need to bring your hands up to your thighs or bend your knees a lot more. You want your back nice and straight. Inhale, feel space between each vertebrae. Exhale, relaxing down, lower the forehead. Release the hands from the shins. And then inhale, slowly roll up to stand. So tuck the tailbone, bend the knees deeply. Roll the spine. We're taking our time, slow motion. Chest lifts, shoulders roll down. Neck begins to lengthen, chin comes up, your gaze comes up, and then again we find ourselves in mountain pose or Tadasana. So inhale to Urdhva Hastasana, reach the arms up overhead. Find some length. Spin the pinky fingers inward, reach up with the hands, ground down with the feet. Lengthen through the side body. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees, dive forward, chest comes over the knees. Relax the torso over the legs. Slight bend in the knees if you need. Relax the head and the neck. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Ardha means half. So Ardha Uttanasana is half fold. Lengthening through, pull the shoulders away from the ears, press out through the tailbone. Feet are still firm. Tuck the belly in. One more inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Uttanasana. Let the head and the neck, the arms hang heavy. Slight bend in the knees still. Deep breath in. Slow exhale out. Slowly begin to bend the knees as much as you need so you can plant your hands on the mat. And then step both feet all the way to the back. Top of a push-up, high plank. At any point, you can lower your knees. Spin the biceps forward, lift up through the heels, lifting up through the belly button, as if you've got a ray of light pressing up through the spine, reaching up, holding you up. One more inhale. Exhale, lower the knees if you haven't already. Untuck the toes. Lower the chest between the hands until your belly reaches the mat. Inhale, lift the heart. Keep the palms on the mat. Squeeze the elbows in, but you should be able to lift your hands off the mat. You're not lifting by pressing up through the hands. You're lifting by pressing the legs back towards the bottom of the mat, pressing the tops of the feet up, shoulder blades squeezing in, belly is tight. Inhale, look up. Exhale, lift up and back to child's pose. We're going to rest here for just a break before we press up into downward facing dog. So your hips are over your heels, your chest is resting over your thighs, forehead to the mat, fingertips spread wide. Take note of how your body feels in this shape today. Where do you tend to tighten? What feels good? And then when you're ready, we're going to lift up into downward facing dog. So inhaling up to tabletop, hands and knees, tuck your toes under. Shift the hips back over the heels again. Begin to lift the knees. And then as you lift your tailbone, lengthen through the legs, straightening the knees, but keeping a slight bend. Look back towards your belly button. Head and neck are hanging heavy. Lower the heels towards the mat. They might not go all the way down. They might not actually lower at all, but just that thought, that action of heavy in the heels. Press your chest towards your thighs. Look back towards your belly button. Spin the biceps forward. Pull the shoulders into their sockets. Spread the fingertips wide. Each finger pad pressing into the mat. Lengthen up through the tailbone. This is your downward dog. Big breath in. Slow exhale out through the nose. And then lift your gaze, look between your hands, and walk towards the top of the mat, forward fold. Uttanasana. Slight bend in the knees, let everything hang over the legs. One more round of breath here. And then inhale to Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Hands to your shins or wherever they need to go to create that straight tabletop on the back. But keep the knees slightly bent. So if you're prone to locking out your knees like I am, like this, slight little bend of the knees, all right? Squeeze the belly in, relax the shoulders, press them away from the ears, lengthen the spine, look straight down. One more inhale. One more exhale. On your inhale, lengthen. Exhale, Uttanasana fold. Inhale to stand, Tadasana, mountain pose. Roll the spine. Take your time. Let it feel so good. Release the shoulders down your back. Look up. And Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. We'll take another round of Sun Salutation A, which is that series of poses we just took. Spin the pinky fingers in. Relax the shoulders down. Deep breath in. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Diving forward, slight bend in the knees. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Slight bend in the knees here as you lengthen through the spine. Tabletop, straight down is your gaze. One more inhale. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Bend as much as you need to plant your hands. Step the feet back to plank, top of a push-up, or lower your knees if you need. Shoulders are right over your wrists. Keep lifting through the belly. Look a few inches in front of the top of your mat. You can do it. One more inhale. Exhale, lower the knees. Untuck the toes. Lower all the way to the belly. Cobra pose. Shrug the shoulders up towards the ears and then exhale down the back as you peel your chest off the mat. Lift the gaze just above the top of the mat. So keeping length in the neck. Tops of the feet pressing down into the mat, reaching the toes towards the back. One more inhale here. Exhale, lifting up and back to downward facing dog, or take a little break in child's pose if you need it. From our downward facing dog, take your gaze up and back. Press your chest towards your thighs. Weight in the heels. Look between your hands on the inhale. Make your way to the top of the mat on the exhale. Uttanasana, forward fold. Ardha Uttanasana, inhale, halfway lift. Long inhale. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale to Urdhva Hastasana, rolling up, bringing the arms up with you, palms together at the top. Exhale the palms down through heart center. Lower your gaze to your fingertips as your thumbs rest against your sternum. Finding a quiet moment now in Tadasana, mountain pose. Maybe taking garuda mudra if you'd like. Bringing the right palm against your chest, left palm in front of that right hand, crossing the thumbs, expanding the fingertips wide. Lowering that eagle shape across your chest. Garuda is eagle in Sanskrit. We'll spend a couple more breaths here. On your inhale, lift the gaze. On your exhale, release the mudra, bringing the palms to either side, mountain pose. Next, we'll take Sun Salutation B. So at the top of the mat, stay here. Inhale to chair, so press the hips back, then bend the knees, lift the heart. Slight tuck of the tailbone or squeeze the belly button in. Keep your knees a little bit closer to your ankles than your toes. And put the weight in the heels. Breathe. Palms facing up, spinning the pinky fingers inward. Keep the shoulders relaxed. One more inhale. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. 3 breaths here. Remember not to lock out the knees. Keep the head and the neck relaxed. Dumping down. On your exhale, let everything in your brain that doesn't have to do with your yoga asana practice today, just let it all fall out over the top of the mat. You don't need it now. You can pick it up later. Inhale to Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Shoulders pulling away from the ears. Neck is long. Press out through the tailbone. Uttanasana on your exhale, forward fold. 3 breaths here. Again, just hanging out, drawing your awareness back inward with the breath. Following the exhale out through the nose. Our next inhale is going to bring us to chair. So reach the arms back, drop the hips, bending at the knees, lift the heart, lift the arms, look up. Spin the pinkies in. Spin the inner thighs up, activating the legs. Weight in the heels. One more inhale. One more exhale. And then inhale to stand, reaching up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. That was half of our Sun Salutation B. Next, we'll take the full series, stepping back to Warrior One, lowering through Chaturanga or through Cobra, downward facing dog, and then to Warrior One. So that's where we're headed. From the top of the mat, finding your mountain pose. Inhale to chair. Set the hips back. Bend the knees. Lift the hands. Lift the heart. Squeeze the belly in. Weight in the heels. Look up. One more inhale. Exhale, palms to center, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale to Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, bend your knees as much as you need. Plant your hands. Step back to high plank or lower to your knees. Stay for the exhale. Inhale to lengthen and lift. Exhale to lower, knees, chest, chin. Cobra pose, draw the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale down the back. Tops of the feet press into the mat. Slight tuck of the chin to lengthen through. You're not looking too far up here. Just a couple inches in front of the mat. Full exhale out. You should begin to be able to hear yourself breathe. So your deep inhales dragging down the back of the throat, kind of like a whisper. Exhale out through the nose. On your inhale, tuck the toes, lifting up, pressing back to downward facing dog. You can walk your heels in if you need. Chest pressed towards the thighs, look up and back underneath you. Spread the fingertips wide, lower the heels. Keep lifting through the tailbone though. We're looking for that long spine. And look at the top of the mat. Bring your awareness to that right foot. Step the right foot between the palms, or get it as close as you can. Lower that left heel. Your left toe should be at somewhat of an angle towards the top of the mat. Exhale, ground down into the lower body. Deep roots growing from the feet into the earth. Inhale to lift up, warrior one. In our warrior one, our hips and our shoulders are square to the top of the mat. We're bending into our right knee, finding some length and stretch in that front hip flexor. Relax the shoulders. Working to straighten that back left leg, but you might not get there today or ever. Practice releasing that expectation. And keep working to square the hips and the shoulder points towards the top of the mat. If you feel a little uneasy here, you can widen your stance by heel toeing your right foot towards the edge of the mat or hopping that back foot in a little bit. Keep the arms lifted, relax the shoulders, pinkies spinning in. Inhale to lengthen and lightly, slightly look up. And then exhale, bring your hands to either side of that foot. Step the right foot to the back of the mat, plank, or hands and knees if you need to lower. One more inhale to lift. Exhale, lower, knees to the mat. Chest between the hands. Pull the heart through cobra. Tops of the feet press into the mat. Lower the gaze towards the top edge of the mat. One more inhale. Exhale, tuck the toes, press it up and back to downward facing dog. 3 breaths in our downward facing dog. Weight in the heels. Lifting through the sitting bones. Dropping the head of the neck. Settling in. Eventually this will feel more like a resting pose. Spin the biceps forward over the ears. And back to your breath. Look between the hands. Bring your awareness to that left foot. Figure out which is your left, which is your right. And left foot comes between the palms. However you need to get there. Take your time. Move with intention. Spin the back right heel down. Right toes are at an angle towards the top of your mat as much as you can. You can heel toe that left foot to the edge of the mat for a little bit more stability. Exhale to ground down. Inhale to reach up, bring the torso up. Arms come up overhead, square your hips to the top of the mat. So if you had 2 lights on your shoulders and your hip points, they'd be like headlights facing forward, straight ahead. Sink into that front knee, lengthen through the back leg as much as you can. Slight tuck of the tailbone, you'll feel that lengthening, stretching through the right front hip flexor. Keep dropping the shoulders, pinky spinning in. Don't forget to breathe. Settle in and down. Focus your gaze. And then inhale, reach it up, look up. Exhale, bring the hands to either side of the foot. Step that left foot back to plank or tabletop. Lifting up through the belly, one more inhale. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin, untuck the toes, press forward, lifting the heart up, rolling the shoulders down. Long in the back of the neck, so lower your gaze if you tend to look up. Reach the toes back, top of the feet pressing down. Notice if your low back feels a little wonky here. You can press the tailbone down a little bit. See how that feels. If you have the opposite problem, maybe you need to lift the tailbone. On an inhale, tuck the toes, press it up to plank, downward facing dog. On the exhale, walk the toes in as you need, chest press towards the thighs, finding your downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Exhale a little slower than your inhales. And look between your hands, walk towards the top of the mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Stay for the exhale, another round. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale to stand, but take your time. Roll the spine, slow motion, no hurry. Shoulders roll up, chin begins to lift, gaze lifts, palms forward. And we forgot chair, so sink the hips back down, bending into the knees, lift the heart. Lift the palms, fingers, pinky fingers spin in, maybe tuck the tailbone. Big breath in. Exhale, now we stand Urdhva Hastasana, reach up. Exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Let's take that mudra once again. Right hand in front of your chest, left hand over. Cross the thumbs, place the fingertips wide across your chest, tuck the chin. 3 deep rounds of breath here. Use this time to check in with the breath and the body. Relax the jaw anywhere where you hold tension. On your final exhale, release your mudra. Palms to either side. And then finding chair again. Inhale, reach the arms up. Press the hips back, then bend the knees. Keep the knees over the ankles. Weight should be in your heels. You should be able to wiggle your toes. Look down at them. Then lift the heart, lift the hands. Bring the palms together, down through heart center. We'll take prayer twist. Inhale, reach that right elbow up. And twist towards the left as you hook the right elbow over the left knee. Press into that knee with the elbow. The knee presses back, so you're keeping a little bit of space between your feet, between your thighs. Look up over your left shoulder. Keep the weight even in the feet. A few breaths here, palms pressing together. Squeezing the elbow and the knee in towards each other. Keep sinking back over the heels. Lengthening through the spine on the inhales, twisting on the exhales. And then on an inhale, begin to open your arms, so lowering the right fingertips, reaching the left arm up. Exhale, bring the palms back together. Stay with us. One more time. Inhale, open. Exhale, palms together. Unwind, coming back to center. Forward fold. Release the hands. You did it. Take a little cha-cha with the knees, bending one knee and then the other. Keep the head and the neck relaxed here. And then inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, tuck the tailbone, roll the spine up to stand, mountain Tadasana, palms on either side. And we'll take that twisted chair to the other side. So as you're ready, sweep the arms up overhead, send the hips back, weight in the heels, slight tuck of the tailbone, heart opens, pinky fingers spin in. Squeezing the legs energetically together by imagining this energy pulling the inner thighs up and in. That'll help protect the knees. We're not just dumping into the joints here. Inhale, look up, bring the palms together, then down through heart center. Inhale, reach the left elbow up. Exhale, twist towards the right. Left elbow hooks over the right knee. Palms together. Inhale, lift your gaze. Knee and elbow pressing in towards each other. Still keeping weight in that left foot. Keeping that inward and upward movement, energetic movement between the thighs. If they're burning, you're doing it right. I'm right there with you. One more inhale. Stay for the exhale. And then your next inhale, we open our wings. Lower the left hand, reach the right arm up. Exhale, palms together. One more time. Inhale, open. Exhale, palms together. Unwind, coming back to center. Fold. Exhale. Taking a little cha-cha with the knees bending. Maybe gently shaking the head, yes and no. Rolling the shoulders, whatever you need to feel good. Release from those chair poses. Big exhale out through the mouth. And bring some stillness to the knees. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand. Big rolling of the spine, make it really dramatic. Arms come up overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Bring the palms together at the top. Exhale, palms down through heart center. Big breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Release the hands. From here, we're going to take Garudasana. So eagle, if you've been recognizing that word throughout class, throughout our practice, sprinkling in those little notions in between. So for eagle pose, Garudasana, we're going to take a similar shape into chair. So inhale, reach the arms up, send the hips back. Shift the weight to the left foot. Don't worry, we're not going to be here too long. Lifting that right knee up, cross that right leg over the left. If this isn't working for you, you can also go up against a wall and sink down so your low back is right against the wall. So if you're standing, stay there. If you're against the wall, press the low back. Keep the low back against the wall. Arms are up. Lift that right knee. Cross that right knee over the left. And then take that right arm underneath the left arm. And then maybe crossing the hands again. So right arm under left. Maybe the wrists cross. Maybe the backs of the hands touch. Sink the hips back. Slight tuck of the tailbone. Lift the elbows. Find a focus point. Bring all your awareness inward. In this pose, we're drawing all the energy into the middle body. Bringing our awareness, bringing that fire inward. Taking care of ourselves, turning into ourselves. One more inhale. One more exhale. Press into the left foot to begin to reach up and open, releasing the pose. Arms come up overhead. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold, bend the knees. Chest over your thighs. Relax the head and the neck down. Breathe deeply. Two more breaths in forward fold or any pose that you find a little bit more relaxing, maybe widening the feet, taking ragdoll, hands on either elbows. Let your next exhale out through the mouth. And slowly make your way back up to stand, taking your time. Again, intentional movements. Bring the palms back to heart center, tuck the chin. Take a breath in. And the exhale, release the hands as we prepare for eagle pose on the other side. So inhale to chair, drop the hips or send the hips back, then drop them. Knees are bent, reach the arms up overhead. Shift the weight to the right foot this time. Begin to lift the left toes off the mat and cross the left leg over the right. Or if you're at the wall, press the low back against the wall. Once you're there, sink down, left arm under right this time. So making an X with the hands, bringing them up and then either crossing the ankle or the wrists, palms together, backs of the hands together. If you fall out, just get back in. Sink it down. Tuck the tailbone, lift the elbows. Knit the ribs together, lengthen through the spine, sink back, and then relax. Focus. Body the eagle with its wings wrapped in tight, preparing for flight. One more inhale and exhale. Inhale, press into the right foot again to lift. Open the arms, reach them up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Spend a few breaths here. Or again, if another pose feels more comfortable, more releasing for you, feel free to take that. If you're in your halfway lift, take one more inhale to lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to stand. Finding yourself at the top of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, step the right foot to the back of the mat and spin to face the right side to a 5-pointed star. So we've gone from curling in, wrapping our wings around us, preparing for flight, to exhale, bursting out of the nest, bursting into flight, like a 5-pointed star here, like an eagle spreading its wings open. Press the fingertips wide, ground the feet down, a little bend in the knees, keep a little buoyancy. Maybe close your eyes and just feel this pose. Feel the heart opening as you reach out with your wings. Reach down into the earth with the feet. Feel the front body expand on the inhales. On your next exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Turn the heels to be in line with the toes, so your toes are facing the right edge of the mat. Heels are in line, preparing for wide-legged forward fold. So inhale to lengthen. Slight bend in your knees, hinging at your hips. So imagining that forward fold, hinging at the hips. Keep your spine straight. Press the hips back. So your hips are going back as your torso is lowering down. Slight bend in the knees. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Bring your hands to the floor or a block if you've got it. Relax the head and the neck. Don't rely on your knee joints here. Shift the weight forward just a little bit onto the balls of your feet. Begin to relax into it. Find some weightlessness in the head. Walk the hands back in line with the feet. Keep inhaling to the low back, keeping that straight. Allowing the head to hang here. Spend 3 more rounds of breath on our wide-legged forward fold. Make each round of breath a little longer and slower than the last. Inhale to halfway lift, tenting the fingertips up so you can lengthen through the spine. Press the feet into the mat, bring your hands to your hips. Firm in the feet, spin the inner thighs in. And then same way we came down, we're gonna come up, hinging at the hips, straight back. Press the feet into the mat to lift. Extend the arms long, turn the heels in, finding that 5-pointed star again. Reach it out, close the eyes. Feel your expansion from the chest. That release that comes when we spent all that hard work on ourselves, our inner work, through all of the frustrations and the learning opportunities, the joys, the pains, all of that we hold within, when we can finally release and fly. Allow that to express out. Reach through the fingertips. Ground down through the feet. Lengthen through the spine. One more big breath in. Fill up as much as you can. Fill up more air, more air. Hold it at the top just for a moment. Open mouth exhale as you step to the top of the mat. Take another round of deep cleansing breath. Big inhale. Open mouth exhale. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Arms reach up overhead. Lengthen the side body. Relax the shoulders. Tuck the tailbone. Press the feet down into the mat as you reach up. Exhale, cactus arms. Elbows come down at a 90-degree angle or lower. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Bend the knees generously here so your chest rests on the tops of the knees, over the thighs. Relax the hands down to the mat. Step it back, lower into hands and knees. And then shift the hips back over the heels, child's pose. Or wide-legged child's pose if you like that. Knees to the edges of the mat, big toes touch. Lower the chest to the mat, forehead to the mat. Inhale into the back body. Exhale, allow gravity to draw you down. We'll be here for 5 rounds of breath. Exhaling, letting everything go. On your inhale, tent the fingertips up. So just your finger pads are on the mat. Center of the palm is lifted. Inhale to lengthen. And then exhale, walk the fingertips over the right side of the mat, finding the side body stretch. Press the left hip down, reach through the armpit, the shoulder. Let the left lung expand. Let your exhales bring some softness and expansion into that side. Relax the jaw, relax the head. And stay here if you need a little longer. When you're ready, inhale to release, coming back to center. Lower the hands, lower the forehead. Take a breath and a rest here before moving to the other side. So tenting up onto the fingertips, just the finger pads touching. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to walk the hands over the left side of the mat as far as you need. Reach to the left or the right fingers. Press the right hip down and back. Softness in the face, softness in the neck. Right ribs expand to find length. Breathe into that tension if you feel any there. Exhale, ease. Stay as long as you need. When you're ready, walk the fingertips back to the center of the mat. Slowly make your way to your belly. Lowering all the way down. And reach the hands back, palms facing up, so your palms are next to your hips or the tops of your thighs. Bring the chin to the mat, preparing for half locust. So on an inhale, point the toes, tops of the feet pressing into the mat, so much that your knees might lift off the mat. Reach the fingertips as if you're reaching for your ankles. And on an inhale, embodying that cobra pose, lift the heart. Lift the chin. Reach the fingertips back. And then slightly tuck the chin to find length in the neck. Keep reaching back with the fingertips. One more inhale. Exhale, slow motion, lower the forehead to the mat, lower the hands and the knees. And on an inhale, we'll take that same posture to start moving from half locust to full locust if you'd like. So we're starting with half locust. Tops of the feet press into the mat, activating the legs, knees lift. Reach those fingertips back, shoulders pressing away from the ears. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, reach. Inhale, lift the toes, bringing the big toes to touch. If you'd like, you can clasp your hands together at your low back and pull the shoulders away from the ears as you lift up through the toes. Lift up through the heart. Keep the neck nice and neutral. One more inhale. Slowly exhale. No slingshots. Let it down slowly. Rest one side of the face on your cheek. Then switch sides, lowering the opposite cheek. Couple breaths here. And as you're ready, bring the palms next to your chest. Slowly press yourself up to sit. We'll make our way to forward fold. So sitting onto your sitting bones, lengthening the legs out in front of you, moving any flesh you might need away so that your sitting bones, those bottom of the pelvis points are right on the mat. Lengthen through the spine. Relax the shoulders down. And then inhale, reach the arms up overhead, keeping the shoulders in their sockets. Relax down. Inhale to lengthen. Same as we've done before, hinging at the hips. Forward and back, a couple breaths. Tuck the belly in. And then exhale, hinging at the hips, reach forward. When you can't go any further without the low spine curling, let the hands land down. Draw the fingertips back so you can open the heart. Inhale. And then exhale out everything to melt forward. Now you can curl the spine. Slowly curling forward, letting the head and the neck hang heavy. If you need, you can put a prop underneath your knees if you've got a big space between the legs and the mat. We'll be here for 3 more breaths. On an inhale, curling the spine as if we're rolling up from forward fold. So this is the same posture, just in a different orientation. So roll the spine up, starting with the tailbone, low back, mid back, shoulders, chin. Bring the soles of the feet together for bound angle pose, allowing the knees to open. Grab your ankles or your shins. Inhale the shoulders up, exhale down the back. Inhale to sit up tall. Exhale, hinging at the hips, reach the heart forward. You can move your hands to your toes or the mat or floor in front of you. Finding some softness in the inner groin area, inner thighs, as you slowly let yourself melt a little bit closer to the mat. Relax the head and the neck. Maybe wiggling those elbows down, pulling yourself closer, but be gentle here. Let your breath guide you. Keep trying to release through the legs. And same way we've come up, curling the spine, finding like a cat pose, and then lengthening up. Chin is the last to come up. Bring your hands to the outside of your knees. Close the knees together like a book. Prop yourself up. Windshield wipers, left and right. And then bringing the knees back to center. Lower onto your back, keeping the knees bent. Lower the knees to the right. Extend the left arm next to you and look over your left shoulder for a supine twist. If you need to deepen the twist, you can draw the knees closer up towards your shoulder. If you need to loosen a little bit, just lengthen the legs towards the top of the mat. Both shoulder blades should be on the mat here, so adjust as you need, and then take 5 rounds of slow, deep breath in the twist. Release down a little more wherever you're hanging on to. After your 5th exhale, inhale the knees to center, the gaze straight up. Walk the heels back in towards the hips to realign. Drop the knees to the left. Extend the right arm long, gaze over the right shoulder. Find your twist, maybe a little looser, a little deeper on this side. Shoulder blades in contact with the mat. Gaze over your right shoulder and let go. Three more rounds of breath on this side. Soften a little bit more. And then inhale the gaze straight up, the knees follow. Walk the heels in towards your hips. And find happy baby. Reach between the knees, lift the feet, grab your shins, ankles, big toe if you can, and draw the knees down, lengthening through the spine, tucking the chin. Pulling the feet down, pressing up through the heels. Big breath in. Exhale, soften, and then take any variation of happy baby that you enjoy. I like to rock side to side, extending the leg out long. Maybe you need a few moments of quiet and just making yourself as still as possible in happy baby. Then draw the knees in towards your chest. Wrap your forearms around the shins. Lengthen through the spine. Take a final deep inhale as you bring your forehead up to meet the knees, curling into a ball. Big inhale. Exhale, release. Point the toes, reach the arms up overhead for a big stretch. And then exhale, bring the hands down to your sides, setting yourself up for Shavasana, or corpse pose. Allow the shoulders and the hips to melt into the mat. Loosen your jaw. Allow the corners of your eyelids, the corners of your mouth, melt down the side of your face. Soften the fingers, release the legs. Begin to release the awareness of your breath. Closing the eyes if you haven't already. preparing for rest. Fully relaxed, you release your body to the earth, and releasing the thoughts from the mind. And slowly begin to bring your awareness to your body on the mat, your presence in your space. Begin to move the fingers and toes, rolling up to the wrists and the ankles, bending the knees and the elbows, and reaching up overhead as you point your toes for a reawakening stretch. On your exhale, curl to one side, finding a fetal position. Spending another moment, again tucked into yourself, tuned in, connected. And as you're ready, pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat at the top of the mat. And taking again garuda mudra, crossing the palms in front of your heart, crossing the thumbs, fingertips spread wide, and lowering that eagle shape across your chest. Inhaling deep. Exhaling slow. Keeping the eyes soft or closed. We'll close out our practice with an Om. You're welcome to share, participate, or just receive. Take a deep inhale together for Om. Release the mantra and the mudra, and crossing the hands, allowing them to fall onto your legs. Blink open the eyes. Lift the gaze. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. See you next time on the virtual mat.